Hey, what's up, guys? It's Scarra here from theScore eSports, here with Slooshi from P1, Phoenix One, new esports organization. Here after a loss to Echo Fox. I just wanted to pick his brain about some stuff. So, well, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit for people who don't know who you could be?
Yeah, I'm Slooshi from Phoenix One. I used to play on Teammate, and now I am the mid laner along with Pirean.
Yeah, okay, so you're a team that uses a really interesting, like, you actually use your substitute position
Yeah.
quite a bit to insert, like, two people into one role. And so, like C9 also switched out, both the first series had a sub today. So what would you say that you bring to the team that Pirean doesn't, and vice versa?
Honestly, what I bring to the team is I have a little bit better communication. Pirean being like Korean, he's not as comfortable expressing everything that he needs to express. And they felt like the communication was kind of lacking in game one. And they brought me in game two to attempt to fix it.
I mean, that makes sense. And a lot of these teams have a lot of new rosters are telling me that like communication is the key thing in for like teamwork oriented things. So one of the questions I have to ask you is that even though you weren't playing the first game, I was wondering about two things. One, how'd you feel about the Kazakhs pick? That was kind of random from the other team. I didn't really expect it. And two, what'd you really think about the item builds that Pirean ended up building? Because he built a really unconventional GA
Angel,
on a mid laner, and I thought that was just
I,
really bad.
Mhm.
But I want your own opinion on it because you're like starting mid laner on the team as well.
Honestly, I can't say I agree with the GA. I know what the intention was. The intention was to stop Kazakhs from resetting if he ever jumped on him. But honestly, if it were me myself in that position at that time, I felt like the team was lacking damage, and that Rabadons and then Zanyas would have been a much better like item path. Because if Kazakhs were to jump on you, and if he were to kill you, you'd res and then die again, honestly. Because the fight would be all over you. And then, but Zanya's, it would actually stop the damage like from even happening if you were to Zanya's as he jumped in.
And what do you think about the Kazakhs picks from the other team? I thought it wasn't very impactful, but I was curious what you thought about it.
I agree with you on that because the Kazakhs pick, like, I think we were already showing Rek'Sai, we showed Zyra, and those are all like champions that mess with Kazakhs' ability to like come in and out. And on top of him not having very many choices, because he'd have to jump on like the squishy the backline, and it would be Ezreal, Zyra, and Azir. Zyra, if he were to jump on Zyra, that's like his only most likely kill choice. But then even then, Zyra can pop him up with the ulti. She can root him, and then Azir can wall him off. And then like even mid jump, Rek'Sai can stop him. So I can't say Kha'Zix was like a good pick, and it showed because it wasn't really the reason that they won game one.
I noticed that Swain was a really impactful pick throughout the series. You guys actually first picked it the second game, the second series that you were in, and then you flex picked it to top lane. I thought that was really, really smart. Allowed you to get a counter pick on the Victor mid lane. Even though you got the counter pick, it felt like they were still able to take. They had even pressure with you guys. What kind of went wrong in the early game for that to happen?
Honestly, what I thought went wrong was because we, even though like Victor, I think a better build path for him would have been Abyssal early to live the fizz, but we didn't get to capitalize as much on Victor because like Graves wasn't around, and it was hard because Froggen was actually playing very very smart, where he kind of just like shows up, clears the wave, and then disappears, and it makes it kind of hard to get kills on him, even though we should have. Because Fizz, you have to snowball really hard, and they had a lot of squishies for Fizz to kill, but it was hard because I didn't get like off to the as great of a start as I would have wanted.
Okay, that makes sense. So another pick that showed up was Furor. So COG played Furor yesterday, not to great success, and Furor ended up winning this game. How do you feel about the Furor pick in general?
I think Furor is a pretty good pick. I don't think that Furor should have been as strong as she was in that game. We made a lot of mistakes where it was like me pushing and then I got solo killed by Furor. It got Furor kind of rolling when she should have been kept down like the entire time.
Well, let's move away from the series for a little bit. I know that you guys have like a bunch of like, or you and Pirean are alternating. Do you guys alternate scrim time as well? Like, how does it work so far outside the game?
Yeah. So we schedule about 2-3 scrim blocks a day, and so throughout the scrim blocks, even though we're against the same team, Me and Pirean, we split the scrim times. So we play like, so it would be if it was a 2-hour block, we'd go 1-on-1, or maybe if we had 2 2-hour blocks, we'd go 2 games Pirean and 2 games me. So we split it pretty equally down the middle.
Oh wow, that's really interesting. So with that in mind, that you guys are playing so close to each other and you guys are essentially competing for the same position, does he help you a lot, and vice versa? Do you guys force each other to become better?
I think we do help because with Pirean, like if we do scrim, he sits behind you, he watches, he'll point out what he think I could have done better, and same thing for me. Like I'll watch him from behind, and I'll tell him what he could do better. And I mean, we're both like trying to, like we're competing over each other, so we're forcing kind of the best out of each other.
That's really good. And just the last question, you haven't been playing the LCS for like one whole split, essentially. How's it like to be back? Like, really, what like, were you missing it a lot? I know you ended up taking a break, and I wasn't quite sure the full story there. You know, I don't think a lot of people really know.
Yeah. Honestly, I took a break because of my mom. She had breast cancer. So I took some time off to go visit my mom. And by the time I came back to California, she's in Canada. And by the time I came back from California, it was about 2 weeks left in LCS. And I was pretty out of practice. I took about 3, 4, almost a month of literally not playing League at all. And so I just came back, and 2 weeks in, I just let Golden Glue because I didn't want to come back and just like underperform because I was so out of practice. And then after that, even I kind of felt like out of love with the game. I got kind of sick of it, and then I like burnt out mostly because we had like a bad streak too. I felt kind of burnt out, and I didn't really want to play. And then like Eric Ma, our part of our team owner, he's the team manager for Phoenix One right now.
Oh, okay.
He told me that he wanted to get a team into LCS, and that he was going to be purchasing a spot along with our other investors. And he asked me if I was interested in playing, and I told him yeah. And then the 2 months before LCS started, I was really, really grinding it out. And I kind of recovered from the burnt out feeling that I had. So yeah.
I mean, it's really good that you recovered, man. I know a lot of times pros can just burn out and just leave the LCS, but you coming back, it looks like you're more motivated enough to try to be like the best team, best player in the region. Do you have any closing statements for any of your fans, or for either your team or yourself?
I think we're a new team. I honestly think that we will improve pretty fast because we only had 2 weeks of practice. But yeah, I want to thank the fans that we do have, and thank especially our owners for providing everything for us that they do.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me, man. And this is Scarra from theScore eSports. You can find more of our content online at theScore eSports or on our mobile app. Hope you guys have a nice day.